Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm your host, Amanda Lamb. In today's conversation with WRAL's Five on Your Side producer, Pritchard Strong, we're talking about something you almost have to see to believe. Because you can't see it in a podcast, we're going to describe it to you in detail. So, imagine you're sitting on your deck in your peaceful backyard when suddenly there is a big boom from the property next door and a cloud of dust so thick that you can't even see a foot in front of you, and it envelops your porch. Well, that's what we're talking about today. Pritchard, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So this blasting is at a construction site in North Raleigh. It happens several times a day. And I mean, you showed me this video. It sends this huge cloud of dust into nearby properties. And one family caught it on their security camera. That's the video we have. What are neighbors saying about how disruptive this has been? I mean, this is happening multiple times a day.
Yeah, it's been really invasive. The neighbor that we spoke with, Ed Parsons, he says that this is happening 3 to 5 times a day. And, the work and construction goes from 7 a.m. in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. These blasts they shake your house. He's taken things off the walls because it's rattled glasses and bottles that are hanging up. He says it's really terrified his dog. His dog is stressed out and, he works from home. So there's been quite a bit of disruption, not to mention all the dust that settles and collects on his back porch and his yard and other things like that.
And his furniture, I would imagine, if he's got furniture back there. So what is some of the damage? I know he's had some damage, maybe, I guess, to the air conditioning system clogged, some drywall cracks. Well, tell me about that.
Yeah, so he, one day, his air conditioner stopped working. He had an HVAC company come out. They said that it was due to all the dust that had been coming into his yard and getting into the HVAC system. It had clogged it up, shut it down, and he had to have that repaired. Cost him a few $100 to get that done. He says that there has also been some drywall cracking in a couple of places downstairs in his home since this started. Now, that hasn't been directly connected to the blasting. There will be an inspection afterwards to see if that is connected. At this point right now, not directly, but that's what he says he's seen since this blasting has started.
And the development is called Tucker Place. The blasting company is East Coast Drilling and Blasting. And I'm sure now at this point, because they have talked to this homeowner, they're aware of the nuisance, correct?
They are aware of it. The companies involved are. And it's not just this neighbor. There are other neighbors who, have complained and spoken out about this. It is felt and heard throughout the neighborhood. There's a smell out in that area from the blasting. There's constant noise from the drilling. There's a lot going on out there. They're definitely aware of it. And there are seismographs that are supposed to be out there monitoring exactly how powerful these blasts are, how much energy is reaching these homes. And that is something that, the homeowner has asked for data on that, those seismograph readings to see if this blasting company is in compliance. To this point, he hasn't gotten those.
Okay, we're going to talk about that more after the break. Welcome back to the WRAL Daily Download. So the seismograph is something that is supposed to measure, the intensity, correct?
Right. And
that's supposed to be knowledge or information that should be shared if somebody asks for that, and that's what this homeowner has asked for.
Well, and it's the fire department that's allowed to request it if they want to review it. So far, Raleigh Fire hasn't done that. They say that they don't typically do that because there's calculations involved. They said it's not uncommon for a fire department not to ask for that, but it is in the permit that they can ask for those seismograph readings to check to see if the blasting company is in compliance. When the neighbor, Ed Parsons, asked for that data initially, he says he was told no by the blasting company. Since we got involved, the blasting company has sent them an email now saying, yes, they will turn that information over.
And you mentioned that the fire department is the agency that's in charge of monitoring this stuff. There's a couple of rules that are really important that they have to follow, and I know you looked into whether this company was following those rules. One is about permitting, and one is about warning sirens. Tell me what you found out.
Yeah, so once we started looking deeper into these complaints, we did find a couple of things. One, that with the permit that the blasting company obtained, there was a gap about 3 weeks in June where they were not permitted. However, we found at least 5 instances where they were blasting during that time at the site, again, without a permit. We also have on video an instance of them blasting without the proper siren warning. There's supposed to be, according to the fire department, a siren sounded to warn neighbors 5 minutes ahead of a blast and 1 minute ahead of a blast. We reviewed video that was 7 minutes long, no warning sirens, and then there was a blast.
And again, it's not clear who should be doing something about this.
It's kind of a tough spot because in those instances, the fire department was not out there. Okay. And at some point, they got enough complaints to where they were out there every day. July 20th, they had somebody out there for every single blast that was happening. And during those times that they were out there from July 20th on, the fire marshal's office says, yes, the blasting company has been in compliance during that time.
And I know that you did look into the background of this company, and they did have some issues with some of these same complaints back in 2018 in Durham, correct?
They did. There was an incident where they set off an explosion at a construction site. Some debris was launched into the air, came crashing through a home's roof, and made a hole. I wasn't there personally, but based on video review, about a foot wide, came through the roof, through the ceiling of a home, and a big chunk of mud was sprayed out in the middle of what appeared to be a dining room. There were also some other complaints from other neighbors in that area that they saw some foundation cracking. They blamed that on the blasting. I think in total from the incident, 7 homes and 2 vehicles were damaged from that explosion. The company lost that blasting permit after that incident for that particular project.
Now, I know the homeowners in this situation have reached out trying to get some of the repairs covered by the company. What's happening there?
At first, they were essentially told it wasn't the problem of the blasting company. They did not get anywhere trying to get any kind of fix here. When we did get involved, KB Home, which is the lead developer on the project, they did pay him back for the HVAC service, and they did agree to pressure wash his home from all the dust after they were done in that area. And they said that they have, been listening to neighbors' concerns. They're helping to fix issues with the dust. And they also maintain that, throughout the project, they've been compliant, that their subcontractors have been compliant with any permitting issues. And at this point, they're not acknowledging any wrongdoing.
I gotcha. But at least they're stepping up to help some of these homeowners with the problems that they've had in terms of the damage and the cleaning. But I know this is something that you'll continue to follow because obviously it's a big nuisance for people in that neighborhood.
Absolutely.
So thank you for breaking this down for us and explaining this. And thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download. For more news from WRAL, sign up for the WRAL Morning Briefing newsletter. You'll be informed and ready to face the day with one concise email. Sign up at WRAL.com/newsletter. As always, thanks for listening.